DJ Smith, bring the beat back.
Hello viewers, you are welcome once again to this special edition of our interview show here. I'm going to have a discussion with experts from the health sector, and this is about the research findings on coronavirus here in Amsterdam. Of course, the name once again is Odifo. I'm going to be the host for this program. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this show.
Thank you so much.
Let me give you the opportunity for you to introduce yourself so that we can continue from there. Let me start from you.
Yeah, my name is Charles Adwana. I'm professor in Amsterdam UMC, and I work basically looking at the health of the minorities population in Amsterdam.
That is Professor Charles Adwana.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Maria Prince. I'm professor also at the AMC, and I'm also the head of the research department of infectious diseases at GGD.
Chair, Premier, do say you wanted to hear more Amsterdam.
And I'm Veronica van der Kamp, the ambassador of the Helios study.
Veronica van der Kamp, ambassador for the Helios study. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome once again to the show. Let me start with you, Professor Charles, since we are going into your area. You know, internet about coronavirus research. Why do you being an expert in that field? We'd like to hear from you.
What I mean, so I'm going to say, you know, Emekasa. In the Kasa, because the Kasabo coronavirus.
Yes, please.
And maybe I'm sure about 61 million people are catching coronavirus.
Seriously?
Yeah.
61 million.
And more than 1.4 million people have died from the coronavirus. So the coronavirus is real, it's killing people. I mean, it's so deadly. And what we know is that in Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, we have not been spared. I think more than 500,000 people have also been infected, and more than 9,000 people in the Netherlands have died from the coronavirus. So it is hitting everyone. But I think that what is very important, that when we look at what is happening across the world, particularly UK and United States, it turns out that the minority population, such as the black population, the Asian population, the Chinese population, have been also been very badly hit by the coronavirus. In the US, for example, if you are African American or if you are black, you have about 2 times more likely to actually get infected. You had about 5 times more likely to be admitted to the hospital, and you had more than 2 times more likely to die compared to, say, the white population. The same thing, compared to, say, Hispanics.
So let's narrow it to Amsterdam.
And that's what I'm
because
exactly. So those of us who is working with the community here, then we start getting worried. If this is happening in America, if this is happening in the UK, if these people that we know are getting infected, dying more, what is that happening with their community? And what can we do? And the point person a bit me afar, a bit me unsure say our community are also safe. That is actually why we decided then that we need to look at what is happening in Amsterdam. And that's why I actually led to the study that we've actually heard about. So the study that we looked at purely was to use it to help our community so that our community can also stay safe like everyone else.
Why these specific groups? Let me come to Maria.
Because we are looking whether the same is happening in Amsterdam. We were looking to the largest group living in Amsterdam. So there are people from Surinamese background, from Turkish background, Morocco background,
Ghana,
Dutch background, and Ghana background. And all those groups were already participating in a large LIAS cohort. So those participants, we asked, are you willing to also contribute to this research? So we invited those participants to come to the LIAS locations where we had blood drawn
Wow.
and we had a questionnaire,
Okay.
and the blood has been tested on COVID antibodies.
Wow.
And that's saying whether you have been infected in the past. So somewhere just the beginning of the epidemic and last week. So it doesn't say whether you are infectious at this moment. It only tells something in what happened in the past. I think that's very important to know.
Were those people paid to do that?
No, they are not paid. They were just volunteers, and we really asked whether they are willing to participate. So it's no, they were not paid.
Can you go a bit deep into the measures that were used?
Yeah, we used a very short questionnaire that asked, for example, do you think you have been affected with the coronavirus in the past?
Yeah.
And also then the questions about the measures that are generally here, like do you keep distance and so on. And we had a blood drawn, so that were the main measures. So a short questionnaire and some tubes with blood that went to the laboratory to be tested.
The number of people
It was,
is a Ghanaians?
in total we had 2,500 people, the total populations, and there were 326 people from Ghana.
So, what does the research say about Ghanaians in the end?
Yeah, I think it was saying that out of 100 people from Ghana, 25 have been infected in the past.
Eddie, being also with your background, let me use, of course, the nature of your job, being a government worker, you stand in for Ghanaians. What is your intake now?
There were questions as in the experts.
Good.
The Edin Kampano, Omea was Nipa 2,500, and a year research now. Ghana for year 326. And about 100 people, 326, about 100 of them. And Omania called them TB pain. So about 100 have got corona before. Out of the 100, would they compare other groups? Do they say the near beer, we are aware, but I'm from one hospital. Now, do they say the near beer hospital?
Basically, the number now of person who says a him for now, Umuko Hospital. Remember, as I said here, the agent said, Nipa pen, Umania, Akachisa coronavirus in the past. So these are not those people who have been to the hospital. So these people are those that have been in the past. But what we know is that we do have information that tells us how many people, also in the whole of Amsterdam, how many people have been admitted to the hospital. Because in the Netherlands, say, Sayari will say, "Ba, be a BCBN, Mr. Krumhano, be a BCBN, a cop through the information system." And to bet me who say, "Oh, some profile in Iden, Omo Hospital." And it's me sure mono, Usha Nipa Ghana for Anfan's or now share Moroccan for Turkey, Suriname, and therefore, we are more likely to be almost be admitted to the hospital compared to the Dutch people.
Okay.
Again, here it's not only the Ghanaians, but all the minority people. We are more likely to be or a bit admitted our hospital. Although the Ghanaian numbers were slightly a little bit higher than the other people. So that is what we know.
So what the Ghana for compare Dutch for this now for Turkish in Morocco now. Painful and I be actual more
When you say the BTC can say antibodies, antibodies in the antibodies in the ANS. My young said, woman, me fan said, you are ready by him for being a chibie. Ya, woman, said, oh, my chibie. And the antibodies, no, I could say the BTC, we need a dear say, you are really bamwa, BTC flu, BTC, we need a bit to me. I say, oh. So nipa wey na ayede apa me nipa wiem so ntina onipa enema bi wo body mo obeyede obesale edina ntina wo nipa dua na ayede wa prepare the next time le ba obeyede obetimi a fight no.
One answer question is based on the 320 number interview about 100 and then I give you pay I saw the phone no kasai sa ta no monya was not true.
Yeah,
okay like no monya Okay, until a bee, any regarding the money, and a bee soon be aware, but the small, it's a mild problem, and they can stay at home and some 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Would they compare other nationalities now? So people not Ghana for at the high and answer a medal now.
So this is you are asking about those with the mild symptoms.
Yeah, how much symptoms was 1 year, then so and you to move one group, according to research, they've got the virus before, but they didn't know. That's one group.
That's true.
And there's one group, they've got the virus according to the research, but they knew. But it was small problems, so maybe coughing small, maybe sneezing small, small headache.
Yes.
So there was no need to go to hospital. So they stayed at home for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and it was okay. That's one group. That group, if you compare that group with other nationalities, the Moroccans and Turkish Sudanese,
Is Ghana still
is
high?
Ghana still high?
Yeah, but for that we haven't looked at those people that have this mild symptom. For that study we did not say that. Oh,
And you will do it in the future.
well, I think that we are still hoping to get information to help the
Then
community.
the last group, Ghanaians who had it before when they were sitting in front of you doing the interview, who had it, who went to the hospital, and now they are back, they are okay. They came to you. The time that they were talking to you, they were okay. If you compare that group to the other groups, were Ghanaians still on top?
Yeah, we haven't looked in that way. I think there is got more research on that's really looking where the disease progression is different between people from Ghana and people from other countries. But here we only know that of those people infected, Ghanaians were most often infected in the past.
Yeah.
And as a group, they didn't experience symptoms, so they didn't know they had it. From Ghanaian people, most people didn't know they had been infected.
Mr. Ushet article one, or see Ghana for antibodies, and develop antibodies. Ghanaians have developed antibodies.
Yes.
1 out of 4 develop antibodies. So they are happy again. Some people are happy that they are strong, they have developed it. But once those who are happy, their workplace, employers,
What is the question?
they are not happy because Ghana food will be we don't know. Nobody don't know. And you know, if I am a boss or a colleague at the office, and for Ghanaians, when they get it, they don't even show. Then my colleague or my boss will see me as dangerous because if you cough, then I'll know I don't have to come to you at home. But when you get it, we don't know. So are you not dangerous to us?
No, I don't think it is. I think
So that's why I asked the question: how many of them who came to you got the symptoms without knowing they've got? So if they are about maybe 90% of those who came, then we can say Ghana for Ghanaians is true. When they get it, it doesn't show. But if it's just 10%, then the paper cannot write that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Eddie, let's.
no, I think
Are you getting my question?
Yeah. But I think it's important that you can have very mild symptoms because even loss of taste or smell, even small, you might be infectious. So I think it's important to recognize that even if you have very light symptoms, you might still be infectious to others who might have comorbid, who might be sick, or might have diabetes or something like that, and then you are in a wrong position because you are more likely to get really ill if you get the virus. So I think it's very important to be aware that also very mild symptoms cannot cure.
Okay, Professor, let's get into this question.
Okay.
There is a video going on based on the research.
Yeah.
What is the intake of Ghanaians? Is it positive to us or is it negative?
I think, but what I would say is that the video I actually seen it, but I think that the danger is that we also know that some people that actually develop the coronavirus get it again.
Wow.
And that's why it's so important that we protect ourselves. Now, another important thing is that some information around. Busahu says some information, a himfona, a free bar. The new panel or this information in mouth. A deal with him effort, helpful. It is a deep panel in him some information, not so could this information as well. Nyambia Moa.
So that is the reason yes, so we've come to this.
Exactly.
So we need answers from
exactly.
Yeah, so
It in American say, sa coronavirus, sa antibodies now infants are more can say, oh, infants say I've got a friend say antibody, so I'm Superman. No.
okay, that is
And so when you so you there, we show who you papa. In your what you say when you antibodies into you Superman.
okay.
The who here is over there, we show who you. Now rules now work of BBT social distancing, BBT say, making sure that we market mask near them, you have to follow them like everyone else.
Say, no, I won't believe you say the papers have said the same because they have antibodies, don't you know? That is one, and that's help will come. But because the majority of them, when they get a sickness now, it doesn't show. The people are scared about them. The people are slow. And what can we do? Because we don't know how many people who came to you who didn't show symptoms at all. We don't know. And if 100 people were sick before, and about 25 of them or 10 of them didn't show symptoms at all, right? And yet enough for the paper to say Ghanaians, when they get it, they don't show. You get a point? And I think the papers not can be for them when they wire research, when they give them officials. You don't have influence on what about rights, but still it is affecting the image of the community, which I cannot blame you because you do it. You've done your research, you give it to the government, and it has come out. But what can you do for this image to be corrected? Because that's what the public is seeing it. If you have got cases,
I think
Because Warren and he said, as a Ghanaian being part of the research, they were thinking, say, we should have found a way out in Kayabet dealing with this than to go to the press. The press, we all know how the press works. They get information and then, they bring it out, they exaggerate. Say no. I'm not like say focusing on the protection. If I are angry.
So let's give them also. You got a question.
I think so. Because it's a very, very important point. And let me say what I want to say and say. The results no bad. Being a Ghanaian, I'm a Ghanaian, like all of us. When I actually look at the numbers, I started scratching my head like this. And to my colleague, Professor Prince here, I actually insisted that, can you check this again? I just couldn't believe. So we actually did it about 3 times, just to be absolutely sure. And the person said, okay, so we are one can't even find us and it would to me, but the whole year plan said, a plan based then now be fast to protect the community. So what we did is that you bring all the community leaders together, actually. That was number 1. So almost about 26, we did a two video interviews. So you bring all the community leaders together and then say to them that this is what you found. For us, this came in as a huge surprise. What can we do? How can you work with us so that we can actually get information right?
And also, information they buy, you didn't just put it there.
Oh no.
Community,
you pray community,
and what was their response?
So the community, actually, just like you were shocked, the community was also very, very shocked.
Yeah.
Which is right. Some people even started to question, is it right? Is it right? So people come there, and yes, I say to them that, it is not, you are not wrong, because I was actually asking the same question. Yeah. But of course, if you do have these numbers, the problem is that, the facts doesn't lie. Yeah. So if you are dealing with this fact, the question then becomes, what can you do?
Solutions.
What can you do with it? My colleague wants to tell you.
Let's come to Professor Mariam.
I think we were all shocked because we did it before, and what you always would like to do is, why would you do this research? Is really to prevent and to improve the prognosis. So I think we really would like to have the discussion about with the community about what can we do, what can we do together, and also the prevention teams. They are always in the suburbs of the city and also in the center of the cities. They work with the community and they really were searching what's happening, what can we do, and I think that's really something we have to do together.
Exactly. The community leaders play a very, very important role. They look at it and they ask us then to go back again to find out what it may be driving this problem among our communities. And then also more importantly, they also ask us, come out with the solutions, which I think was very, very good. So we went back, you know, basically trying to look at it, what might be driving this problem. And then we came back again with them and discussed it.
Who are some of the community leaders?
I mean, the community leaders, you have some of the church leaders,
Okay.
some of the people who work, Muslim leaders,
Okay.
some of the refugee leaders.
Okay.
So there was actually all
A
people,
collection of
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you just squeeze in. We are having a discussion on the research findings on coronavirus here in Amsterdam, the impacts and also the questions surrounding it. We're having a variable guest here. Professor is here. More professors are here. We're talking about now. I just want us to switch to the stigma surrounding this research. Since Professor Maria is here, let's you also come in and tell us something about the stigma.
Yes, I think I think stigma is everywhere around because also Dutch people experience stigma. So we have also a lot of research written. Maybe I can mention that it's among people who have COVID. And you go to their houses and they often ask us, oh, how do you come as a GGD? You don't, because the neighbors, I don't want the neighbors to be aware that I have COVID, but I think what we faced in the discussions that there is a lot of stigma with knowing your status, with going to testing. Well, testing is so important because everybody can get COVID, you know. So many people in the Netherlands have COVID, so it's so important to just have the discussion and not to be ashamed that you have COVID because it's so infectious. It's like a fever. It might happen everywhere.
Absolutely. I mean, to add it to that, let's see actually the world leaders who have got a corona. President Trump has had a corona, but they are not all have been recovered. They are all back doing their work as they are doing. No, so
Brian was just telling me, I'm mama yet wake up because Professor said, yes, say, microphobe free, testing, and microphone testing to make us see, maybe I'm in person, the family,
Neighbors.
Answer the neighbor, Betty. Your community, the year shop more piano say, you, and I am to say we yen and I say we yen in our resource neighbor say, people be free, and ya. Into no, I be big a cry. Whatever Simaka say, will be Nyapra non per se. Will be better. Yeah. It's not just say, on to me in country others where he has been. Some are tested, mania into one so quiet test.
I think the whole kind of movie, because that's also where the danger is. Because in Panania, next one, yes, to be a mania, and this may isolate himself. Now, fear Kusuna walking among 4 years, he will pass it on to the other. And this will be Enya, nothing. The people say that's stigma. That's the danger about the stigma.
Okay.
Because the danger about stigma is said, I feel it's going to be unfine. So, when say, oh, fa. But when you say, oh, person, when you are there, who say, oh, fa. And to no better, when you are better, a becker normal. And do consumers on any casa, that person a bit mine. I can check that from you. And that is why I can't say it more. Say, often say, home foul. Any other. All what you do, get back, stay home, and then if the stigma influence of home foul, just call and get
Professor,
help.
you've been a Ghanaian yourself.
Yeah.
You know the impact of acts.
Yeah.
You know the impact of greetings. If I'm to greet you and you refuse it, as a Ghanaian.
Sometimes, actually, it is hard. I mean, the situation. Let's face it, it is not easy. No one will tell you that, I see my sister, I see my loved ones. I mean, previously, if I see you just hug, if I see you, you just greet. But the situation now shows that, we don't, because the problem is that if you continue to do it, we can infect ourselves. And everybody understands it. So we need to always think that, this is not normal times.
Actually, Ghana for face masks, me say you use papa. But ebia ne animu so ne say ebia obi to be focus on American one. It's a the bag into no or the share at the chair was sign afa. How it was the consequences? Because you use but can you tell us how to use it properly?
You know, the mask, you know, remember the main idea of the mask is protecting other people. And that's why the mask is so we here. As it's so there. What to create? And I say, we is now. Who wash it? Fortunately, like 60 degrees actually. And it's a who corners of the mask and all the mask and I say a check. Let's emphasize what they share what you have to work. Then you are not doing anything. Exactly. So it's very, very important that the mask, you know, what the shares or the carbon go through fear. You just have to throw it away.
So you're talking about 100 marks a day?
Well, and that's why it's very important, sir. You use a friend is saying
the cloth one.
The cloth one, but the cloth one, no. But Modin said, what get it outside? And as soon as you get back home, you wash it. You don't use it again because then you lose the whole purpose of doing it.
Let me come to the testing.
Yes.
I know we have to go to the hospital. Some of us who don't have the means to go to the hospital. How do we go about it?
Yeah, but the testing, you can go to everywhere in the city, you can test.
Yeah, but I hope you get the background I'm talking about because you're going to the testing.
There's no problem about that.
Yeah, that is why I wanted to come from here. I don't have the document. I'm undocumented. How do I go in for testing?
But if you are undocumented, you can still go to testing.
Okay.
There's a telephone number, you can phone, and people will help you through, and you can choose whether you want to be in your own area or you want to go to another
They don't
area.
ask me this.
That is
I
big.
just want to
Okay, Professor, I think one of the worries and the feedbacks I get from the committee is that when you go and you want to get tested, they are always telling you they won't test you without any symptoms. But maybe I feel within myself that I just want to, I've been in a gathering
Yes.
and I want to be sure.
Yes.
So why can't I just get tested without symptoms?
Yeah, that was always because you were most infectious if you have symptoms, but it's a little bit changing now the policy.
Okay.
So if you, for example, if your household member is positive because of symptoms, you are now also allowed to get tested if you don't have symptoms. And remember, also if you have very mild symptoms, like you have loss of taste or loss of smell, you're allowed to test. So be very aware that also mild symptoms, when you are not really sick of, because if you have loss of taste, you just go to the super.
So you are telling me
Yeah.
there's possibility if somebody in my household
Yes.
have it, but nobody in my household have it. But maybe, as Ghanaians, our cultural things, though we don't have to be together, maybe I've been in a mix of somewhere.
Yes.
And I just want to be sure. And you tell me no symptoms, nobody in my family have it. Then I'll go around in case I have it, spread it until symptoms start showing.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's a capacity problem.
Yeah, it's not a capacity problem, so they really have to watch those symptoms, but the discussion is going on now in society.
Absolutely.
So it might be changing, and we are also really discussing the prevention team, can we really lower the threshold so you can do a little bit wider testing, so everybody who wants to test is going on, but that is also determined by the parliament, The Hague, but we are just discussing, can we really open the testing to include more people? Because you don't also know from the soccer players, they don't have symptoms, but they get infected, when you go to Ajax or whatever. I think it's a nice example that also asymptomatic people really can pass on the virus.
Okay, let me finish it with Professor Charles on the vaccine also. How are we going to...
Oh yeah, the vaccine. I mean, that is also a very, very important part. And because they say, the vaccine is coming. Yeah?
Okay.
And actually, I saw some of the videos, people saying they don't use the vaccine because vaccine is going to be used as a...
You're going to kill us.
It's going to kill us. It's going to be people going to be used as a guinea pigs. I think that if you do that, you are basically deceiving ourselves. Remember that the vaccine, the test has already been done.
Okay.
They've tested it in thousands and thousands of people across the world. I mean, America and then the UK.
Right.
So actually, the guinea pig scenario, for me as a researcher, it doesn't sit well with me. But
let's talk about the vaccine.
Anyway, what is happening is that in the US, for instance, you hear about, the vaccine is ready. They already tested it in thousands.
Right.
So basically, it comes in.
Yeah, you narrow it down. And to we in Amsterdam.
And then to everybody in there. So now the government is not going to say that, the vaccine is coming and then you give it to. What the government is going to think about is who are at risk. And in this situation, particularly people who are older, the elderly people in the nursing homes and others. So the government is going to target them first because they are particularly very much at risk. And also to healthcare workers. One of the things that I didn't say that, the healthcare workers have been people who have been very, very badly hit about this. Actually, than what we are discussing.
But Charles, in Ghana, people have died.
Yes.
Oh, in
Medical
Ghana,
doctors.
Yeah.
Medical doctors.
Oh, yes.
Medical doctors.
Actually, one of my good friends. Actually, one of my is a very good friend of
Dr.
mine.
Martin.
Yeah, he was a very good friend of mine.
And he's a senior doctor.
Yes, when I
Yeah,
go
so
to
it's very
Ghana,
important to know.
when I go to
Yeah.
Ghana, you sometimes even pick him up. He was a very high up. So we were a very, very good friend. He used to send me mail, and when we have a Dutch doctor
He's
going
dead.
here, he died.
You are saying Ghanaians' figures are different from others. The vaccine, does the vaccine solve problems of all blood, all people the same way?
Actually, before the government will approve the vaccine, they need to ensure that all people from all backgrounds are included in it. So that is why it is important that when the vaccine comes, for me, Charles Ajman, as soon as I see the vaccine coming, I'm going to run and get it. Because I know that it can protect me and protect my loved ones.
Is it a must?
Say it again?
Is it a must
No,
to
it's
have the
not.
vaccine?
No, it's not must. But what I would say is that,
For you to stay alive.
for you to stay alive, you need to
Yeah.
have it. It is
Yes.
very, very important to
Someone
have
can say, okay, now at my age, they call me to take it, but no, I don't want to.
Yeah, you can say that.
You can say
But
that.
this is
It's full of
but-
it. It is a voluntary,
Yeah.
but what I would say is that
Yeah.
if you do it voluntarily, remember that if you say that you are not going to do it,
And you are a risk.
you are risked, you are wrong.
Yeah.
But actually, I was actually even thinking that in Ghana now, those of us that go to Ghana, before you get to there, and you have to test.
Let us wrap it up here. Thank you very much, my lovely viewer, for being with us all the same time. We are having a discussion on the research findings based on coronavirus. And same time, next time, we're going to bring you such informations and education. I have here very honorable panels. I'm giving them the opportunity to give you a 1 minute of advice, and then we wrap it up. Let me start from Veronica Fodeka.
Yeah, I mean, you know, more fair, say, I hope on your may Subia, Professor Sinso, I explain. I mean, the American say, I feel ye, yen share your musu ye. Even if it's one person, right now, I say, we are careful. Yes, Rema, because we do be I say, we protect you. Now we protecting the panels.
Thank you.
Piano, Odofo, I say, Yabosubi, and I said, you're for kind, and yet today and yet last time, we discussing this idea, and we'll do it again. Professor Smana, I always say, I will interview in the Pastoral District 26, almost 100 annually. When they compare others, now you're high. They say taking very, very serious, say you're higher. And the science ain't got to, ain't taking very, very serious. Say it is, actually, I said, I was said, if you also ye, as if I was trying, we know, face mask, or children high use to use. So we use to we are to play. So we use to tower to be a 20 we are, we see, my linear heat, let's see, book of a plateau, not for sense, na used to be. Now, Nina said, Ghana for advice, a CPAN one will say in Sheshamuno, and a mark a spread. Some more TV is what I did it will come up. Your space 2 meters distance. Say yes, I didn't know. A big boy, I don't swat. Say, you can see a birthday party, sir. It was spread. So, okay, TV, nothing full nose and your parties a year, maybe you so. You best spread as if say you don't believe the disease, but the disease is there. It's really there. And you know, either you believe it and take action, or say, oh, blood in your heart, that's a winning the one. Which the man will be. After the research and the answer, which man you be winning, now the man will be. To be ceremony, Moma, Yerry, and ye, hybrid.
Thank you, Professor Mary.
Yes, to follow up, I think it's really important that we really can prevent the disease. So I think we should do it together. So together with the community, together with the GGD. And if you have questions, if you have ideas about how we can communicate better or how we can help to get the message to you, please always contact the GGD. I think it's very important, and I think that's the research. We really would like to prevent the disease and to prevent that people get ill.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you today. I think what I would say is that the work that we are doing this work to help the community. That is actually the bottom line. Because I don't want to sit and just see our community to suffer in any way. That is why for the last few weeks, we've been working very hard. And actually, we have come very far. Now the information is up there. What I would like to tell you just now is that information that you are getting, ensure that you get information that is from the right source. Don't let someone else who have no idea about health to start to deceive you. Because the person who will deceive you, when you are ill, you will never see that person again. And that's why it's so, so important that you follow the information that is being given by the right source. You're going to continue to do our best. I mean, that's all what we can do. As I actually speak, I forget to say that for the first time we had opportunity last Thursday, again we bring the community together, community leaders together, and we have a meeting with the Burgemeester herself, the major Femke, Hasma. And she is going to help us also to work together to help the community. So we are doing whatever we can do to help the community. But remember that myself or the health team from also with the GGD, we cannot do this on our own. We need the community to come together. We need the community to know that we are with them. So please, please, please help us in order for us also to help the community. And also we need to work as a team. So please, my plea to you is that watch out. The information that is going on that is going to help the community, don't listen. Listen to those people that actually bring you the right information so that you can use that right information to look after yourself and also to protect your loved ones. As I always keep on saying, our actual health is our wealth. If you don't do it and you basically get into trouble, if I see you not happy and having a problem, I will not be happy either. So let's work together. As my other colleague said, that we need to basically follow the measures. Ensure that you put your mask on when it's needed, especially when you are outside. Let's avoid the funeral. Let's avoid the parties. Let's avoid all these gathering together. A time will come that you have time to do it again. This is not a normal time. So when the normal times comes, we can do it again. So please, 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 look after yourself, look after your loved ones, and let's all continue to support each other and make our community that is healthy, let's continue to support each other. Thank you so much.
But I said the brain, so we are brain, and now O'Shea and Jimmy Cassie, or say, what promoting and the Usika is answer, and now our modern Sabi and ultimately appear one thing. Coronavirus aba any ababetina. A kuni akese a warning dear, a coronavirus yadi, anyone education como. Tradium Padaruma, a year in your Bema, Charles Ajimai, our Professor Mono, or quarter year pa, a warning dim a year coronavirus yadi. One a year Professor Maria Prince, also or quarter year pa, and within dealing with the Cassidy, anybody. Yet Yabema a year Edward, a this year reference Eddie, I will also the Wufficacy or Bem, more per se. Ghana for Yina Ebukoyi, any nearby a year Veronica from the camp, or also the Wajid de Sin said the Bay Ghana for Yapumudini and Yama to Yintino. You see, no Wajimuakunia, Wodimukai, no one has said, coronavirus, Yenina, you better say, Yedi, ever 2 years. Meeting Edward for and then a hard with you do ABC. But what the answer would see, what he said, or said, May Bushim be free. Upiso for Max near the Eshe. Or say a year to make a 7 hour continuing tea free penny for is answered on one day ban and never born. But that's it. Now what you said, let's so, or so I share you to the thank you. So